Good morning. This is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here, our second shir in Yeshiva Samanavshi, located in Yerushalayim, Yer Kodesh. We're not too far from the central bus station on Rehov Ziprin Yaakov number 6 in Achani Yeshiva's Bati Knesses, and we're learning Mr. Berura, the second shir today. Learning about Shmona Esrei, about being careful not to make an interruption in Shmona Esrei. We're in the middle, but let's just review the Mechaber. That would be in Kuf Daled, Sif Hey, and then we'll go to the Mishna that we started yesterday. Lauren, like to be reading for us?
Okay, Kol Malchum Shaposek, every time you interrupt, Im Shahakadeh Limor Es Kulo, if you stop long enough to complete the whole Shemona Esrei, close the Lord, you have to go back to the beginning. That's the Mechaber.
Good.
V'imlav, if you don't wait that long, Choser the Zlislam, Bracha Shapasako, then you just go and complete the bracha that you interrupted at. V'im Pasak Gimel Rishonos, if you interrupt during the first three, Choser the Loach, go back to the beginning of Shemona Esrei, the first three brachas are completed, treated as a unit. V'im Ba'achronos, if in the last three Choser the Ritzei, the last three are treated as units, you go back to Ritzei.
Very good. Okay. Mechaber is clear? So, Amram, you see the Mechaber here.
What's he saying?
If you interrupt anywhere in the first three brachas, you go back all the way to the beginning of Shemona Esrei.
Okay.
The last three brachas, anywhere in the last three brachas, you go back to Ritzei, because they're treated as a unit.
What's the last two brachas?
From Ritzei, Modim, and Shalom. Ritzei, Modim, and Shalom.
Ritzei is not a bracha, no.
Zachzena.
And then
Modim is
Modim is a bracha, and Shalom is a bracha. Those are the last three
Sim
brachas.
Shalom.
So you see here the Mechaber says that if a person's going to make a hefsek, then he has to be Choser l'Rosh if it's Kedei Ligma as Kulo.
Right.
Okay, that was in contrast to what the Mechaber said in Kriya Shema.
Right.
Okay? Okay. Just to point that out. And we have no Ramah over here. Okay?
Right.
Just to point that out. But the Mishna is going to mention the Ramah. That's where we're going to start right now. Choser l'Rosh, let's take a look at the Mishna Test Zion.
That's Zion, the Rosh. Go back to the beginning. Hine lefi ma she'da'anu nogim be'hakros ha'ma. This is what we said.
According to
the minhag that the Ramah explains, La'el b'simin samach a.
Yeah, it's actually the Fimash Anu Noin, according to how we are accustomed, the Anu Noin, that we are accustomed Bahakras Ramah, according to the decision of the Ramah.
Okay, so what the Mishnah Berura here is still writing. The Shulchan Aruch was giving the Sephardi halacha,
Correct.
and the Mishnah Berura is answering in terms of even though the Ramah did not say anything specific for this halacha,
Right.
the Mishnah Berura is coming to explain how the Ashkenazim practice.
Right.
Okay, it's kind of a Haggah without the Haggah.
Right, even though the Ramah didn't make a Haggah, but the Mishnah Berura is now going to
Say,
transpose
based on what we
the
learned
Ramah over
in
there.
Shema, we're going to make diak here also.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's clear. Now the Mishnah was taking us into the world of Ashkenazim. I even know that the Mechaber did not have any footnote of the Ramah on it, where the Mishnah Berura is going to apply what we know in Samech Hey to what is going to apply to here in Kuftal by Shmona Esrei.
Okay. Hine lefi mash de'anu noagim kehachras haramah el b'simin sivhei. Here, the way we are noheg, according to what the Ramah says above in Siman Samech Hey, Gabi Kriya Shema, according to about Kriya Shema, Kedasa Poskim, according to the knowledge of the Poskim, the Eino Choser l'Rosh, we do not go back to the beginning. Im ha shehashia haya machbasotis, unless the interrupter was due to something that was unavoidable. Okay. Who din tefillah nami? This is the din with tefillah nami. Nami who hadin tefillah nami hadin kain, and the din according to in tefillah is the same thing.
Okay, so now that's the Chafetz Chaim statement. Okay, meaning Knowing we know in Sif Hey by Kriya Shema, the same halakha is going to apply, right, as we learned it there to over here as well by Tefillah. Okay? So now, just to make an analysis a little bit, the Mechaber is pasking you over here, anytime you have a hefsik, right, if it's going to be Kedei Ligmor as Kuloi, you have to be Choser L'Rosh.
Doesn't matter if it's on the side or this.
Apparently, so now apparently, according to the Mechaber, it might turn out the Mechaber is more machmir here in Tefillah than by Kriya Shema. By Kriya Shema, right, you never had to be Choser, according to the Mechaber, you never had to be Choser L'Rosh, right? Any type of an onus, all you have to do is pick up from where you left off, and that's it. Whatever the onus was, whatever the hefsek was, hefsek and Kriya Shema, no problem, just pick up where you left off. Ramah said no. If it's going to be a hefsek Kedei Ligmor as Kuloi, right, then as the Mishna taught us about, if it's in the case of an onus, Machmas Gufo or Makoimoi, it's a halakhic onus, then you go Choser L'Rosh. If it's not, then there are those that since it's not a full-fledged oinus, you can in theory continue. In halacha you could continue, but there's some other situational non-halachic reason why you're stopping your shema. So then you don't have to be Choser L'Rosh in that case. Only if it's a halacha. We'll say only if it's a halachic reason to stop your Kriya Shema, then you have to be Choser L'Rosh. If not, you can pick up like the Mechaber and continue on. Okay, now.
Is it true that the Ramah, according to Ramah, there's no difference between Kriya Shema and Tefillah?
Apparently from the Berura there's no difference. I mean, whatever we learned by Kriya Shema would apply by Shemon Esrei as well. Israel, you want to say something?
But see, if it's a big hefsek, you have to go back to the beginning. For example, scorpion comes on the way, you have to move to the side, right?
You should move, you definitely have to move to the side if the scorpion's bothering, yeah, for sure. But the question is if it's going to take enough time to start and finish the whole of, in this case, Shemona Esrei. So according to that, the Mishna is going to discuss that. That's not a hefsek, an interruption because of halacha. That's because the scorpion's bothering you. Right? Just like if you had a mosquito and you can't concentrate in your davening, right? There's a mosquito. So this mosquito has no bearing in halacha. Okay? We'll see. The Mishna is going to speak this out specifically.
Okay. Yesh Omrim, Yesh Omrim, Ach Yesh Omrim. There are also those who say.
However, it's like a conditional statement, right, based on what came.
However, Yesh Omrim, there are those who say the Inyanenu in our Inyan, the Ayarna, the Irinan Gabe Akrav. Shor Shaba Kenegdo, where we're talking about a scorpion or an ox that is bearing down upon you. O She Pasach Machmas Listim Ukai Gavin, or you're interrupted because of robbers or similar situations. Mikre Nami Hefsek Machmas Onis. This is also called a hefsek due to unavoidable circumstances. Okay. Be'ez hazeh lo hayachol lehispalel umikre hefsek, because you're not able to daven during this point, and it's called an interruption.
So
That be
there's
sort of Kriya Shema also?
no. So that
Maybe
it could be because why? Because there's a difference in Kriya Shema. Based on there's a Mishna in Brachas, right? The Oivdim that they're in the Rosh Ilonos, they're in the working the trees. They come to right Kriya Shema, right? So they don't have to come down. Yigir Zman Shmona Esrei, they have to come down. Why? Because the Morshim say because Shemona Esrei requires kavanah. You have to have kavanah. You're under lifnei melech. You have to have concentration on the words you're saying. It's not just the middle of Kriya Shema saying a Kriya, right? Right. It's also Kriyas Megillah. You have to read the Megillah. Now you have to understand what's being said. That's a whole halacha. And in general, we possibly that you don't even have to understand what you're hearing or you're saying. As long as you're reading the halacha is Kriyas Shema, Kriyas Megillah. So there's a mosquito, there's an akrab, there's listing, there's a shore coming down the road, and there's a sakana. So in theory, you could continue reading. Reading you can do. Concentration to speak to Kadosh Baruch Hu as you're standing before the Melech of the whole world, that's something else. So there are 2 days. By you didn't have 2 days in Shema. Even in the Shittas Ramah, you didn't have 2 days. Everyone seemed to agree, like the Ramah said, right? That or the Magen Avraham said, as the Mishna brought down, that and that's the Mishna brought only 1 day down. It's only Machmas Guf or Makoma, because that's only something you can't speak the words.
Right.
Halakha says you cannot speak the words. You could concentrate on the words, yeah, but you cannot halakhically speak the words. Here, when it comes to Shmon Esrei, it's completely reversed. According to the second day here, like, even though you could speak the words, but that's not prayer. Prayer means you have to concentrate fully on what you're saying.
So there's an inherent difference between Kriya Shema and Shmona Esrei in terms that because Kriya Shema is, like you say, just a Kriya operation,
Right.
the Kavana is not needed to the same level that you need it during Shmona Esrei,
Right.
and therefore the definition of an interruption may be different also, just based on that difference. You know, an interruption, because you don't need the das, it's got to be an interruption. The only interruptions that make sense are halach interruptions,
Right.
because nothing else makes nothing. You don't need das. You don't need das. Doesn't matter.
Right.
Okay. Whereas Gabi Shmona Esrei, since you need your mind concentrating on the words of Shmona Esrei, anything that interrupts that concentration becomes a hefsek.
Exactly.
No.
Halachic. Because your halacha is you have to be on the melech. You must concentrate.
Your chiyuv is to concentrate,
Exactly.
and if you can't concentrate, it's a hefsek.
Exactly.
Whatever caused you to not be able to concentrate is a hefsek. You know, halachic hefsek, not halachic. You know, it's halachic because you can't concentrate.
Good.
Which is not needed by Kriya Shema.
Right, exactly. According to the second day,
Yeah.
the first day was the pure Ramah, basically, or actually the Magen Avraham, right? That was simply only, as we learned by Kriya Shema, only if it's going to be a onus, strict onus al pi halacha, right? So, yeah, very good. That would be a very good point, because you see also the halacha by davening. You can't even stand on something which is three tvachim high. Yeah, there are various different reasons given. One is because you're not going to concentrate.
You're afraid you might fall off.
Yeah, you're not able to daven because your mind is on something. You're not supposed to hold something while you're davening, right? For example, if you want to go back, hold the place where we're at now. It's Sadi Vov.
Why when someone's standing on top of a cliff?
No, you can't daven it. Because now if you daven it, you might have to go back and do it in Sadi Vov. It's not too far back.
256.
I know pages. Not so far back. It was very close. They're very close.
So Mechaber says in Tefillah you go back on onus, any onus you go back.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
And Ramah says now,
You go.
was Ramah say also you go back?
Next one.
Oh, well, we'll review.
Tefillah?
We'll review in a moment. Let's just get this point clear. Tzadi, one more back. There we go. Kishum Espal. Yeah, go ahead. Read the Mechaber here. Yeah, go ahead.
Kishum Espal when you're davening, lo yachzu biyado tefillin. You shouldn't carry holding your hands tefillin. Los sefer mikisvei kodesh, and no sefer kisvei kodesh. What about your siddur?
Siddur, that's the tzorach of tefillah, so that'll be okay.
Which
Lo
sif is this?
Sivada. Tzadi Vov.
Tzaddik Vav.
not Saba. Sadi.
Lo Kora Malaya, Lo Sakin Amos Vikikar. I just any other stuff,
Right.
you know, money, a bag or anything like that.
Right.
Mipnei shalibo alehem shelo yiplu. Because mind is going to be on them and they shouldn't fall. Yitrad hispal kavana so, and you're going to detract from the kavana of your davening.
Right.
Okay. Over lulav bismano mutar, and during sukkahs the lulav is okay during the zmano. Lachos biyad, to hold in your hand. Kevin shehazi shehachiza biyado hu mitzvah, because the holding in your hand is the mitzvah. Beino nitra bishvila, and you try bishvila, and you're not going to lose your kavana because of this.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
we don't have to hold the lulav during Shmona Esrei.
Yeah, but
Maybe during Hallel.
If you've never been, I've never been there, but if you've ever been on the Kaisel on Sukkot, you gotta hold the rule.
Yeah, there's no place to put it down, that's why.
That makes sense.
So, there could be other places like that as well, but I know that sometimes that's the case. Actually, if you look at the Mishna, it's not exactly a good raya, because you're going to see the Mishna is not, I'm not saying properly according to the Mishna. Let's look at the Mishna. You open the discussion here a bit with what's going on. Take a look at the, the Mishna with the Aleph.
Kishum is Aleph. Yeah. When you're praying, if you're praying regarding God, the praying regarding righteousness, Huadin b'shas Kriyas Shema upos Psek Zimra. This is also done during Kriyas Shema and Psek Zimra.
Right. So you see here
where Kavanah is not necessary.
Right. So you see, this could be like a din of litkatchila. Litkatchila, you're not supposed to hold something in your hand where you're saying Kriyas Shema. Even by Psukah Zimra, and you're not supposed to, simply not. So, and even look at base. B'di'evid ain't sorach laksul uspal. You don't have to go back and daven again, even in that case.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
What's the issue with shluchim walking through Beis Knesset while you're davening?
Yeah.
With shaking the coins in their hands, ask for donations. Is that a hefsek? Is that not a hefsek?
Hefsek for you or hefsek for them?
Well, they're not davening, so it's not a hefsek for them.
Yeah.
Okay, they walk in and they just kind of walk around
When did they do this?
the whole time.
The whole time.
I mean, from
Depends where you
from,
daven.
from the time I
Yeah.
walk in till the time I
Right.
finish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and I start
Not in the middle
early.
of davening, not in the middle of davening though.
From the time I walk
Well, it depends, some
in till
shows
the
non-stop.
time I finish.
Where are you davening?
Big Yisrael. Here also.
Oh, okay, find that minion.
From the time I walk in,
Yeah.
which is, and I walk in 20 minutes before we start davening to get ready, till the time I finish, which is an hour later. Okay.
Okay.
And
It's,
the
it's a big topic. There could be different opinions on this. The way I understand it, it's not Torah Messina, you should know, by the way. So, don't quote me. It's like this. Let me start like in the following way. I was told by Rabbi of mine in the yeshiva, Rabbi Yitzchak Tuski, his father, Chaim Dovel Tuski, was the son-in-law of Steinberg. He said in Europe there used to be a club. It's called the Millionaire Club. It's the Millionaire Club. Right? What's the Millionaire Club? There used to be the Aniyim. They used to sit. There's a special table in the Beit Knesset, and they used to have a special table for the Aniyim, right? That would sit in the back of the Beit Knesset.
And you would
Right?
give anyone,
And when
walk
people
in.
would come in or go out,
They would
right?
give. They would give fine.
Right? So,
I have no problem.
So you come in, give out, whatever. You have a minute, you go and give the Aniyim. Why are they called the millionaires? The Aniyim. Why are they called millionaires? Because they have a million amains, a million kadeshim, a million.
Right.
They're sitting there the whole time.
Yeah.
How many minyanim it was, whatever it was, but yeah, they sat there. Okay. Obviously, today that's not the minute, right?
Right.
Puk Chazi, take a look what goes on in the world, that's not the minute Bisman.
That's
That, right? Everyone's on wheels, right? So, I'm not criticizing them, though. I'm just saying that take a look what was and take a look what was now. We're dealing with the situation right now. What's the situation right now? I was told by my Rebbe Pinkas Chaim Pinkas Shaim was at Zal that during Sukkot I'm not to give tzedakah. Or is it mitzvah patam in mitzvah?
Okay.
I'm concentrating on Pesukei Zimra, right? And I tell you, sometimes when I've been tempted and have done it, I've got myself confused.
Yeah, I
You know,
I
like-
stop. I give.
You know where you left off.
Yeah, and
Right.
where I have to go back. Where that.
Right. I know some people, what they do is they put a bunch of sculling or half shekels on the table.
Oh, yeah.
And they come, people,
Yeah.
the regulars get to know them, and they just come and pick up.
Okay, so I just leave it there. No
So
worry.
that's one way that, you know, it's there on the table and they see it. The Mishna Berura speaks about the only time I remember the Mishna Berura speaking about the Indian going collecting that they should not is during Kriyas Torah. Okay, during Kriyas Torah. Mashma that all other times is in theory permissible. Is in theory permissible. Meaning for Irani to come in and someone to come and collect during Pesukei Zimra, right? If it's going to be mother my kavanah, that's my problem. But he wants to collect, right? He's not disturbing anyone during. If we want to give to him, you can give. Those people want to give, they can give it, right? What about during Kaddish or Kedusha, right? So in general, which is like, let's say, during Chazor Shas is classically the time when they come in, right? So Kaddish and Kedusha, other things like that. So it's you have to really concentrate on Kaddish and Kedusha. Kedusha, definitely not. Kaddish maybe a little bit less, but also I don't like to give to. During the time where the Kaddish is being said. Because you're really not supposed to do anything, you're supposed to concentrate fully on it. You're not supposed to take your tefillin off. The Mishna Berura writes before us, you're not supposed to take your tefillin off during Kaddish. Yeah? Take a look what goes on. Right? There are 2 or 3 Kadeshim. Excuse me?
You're not allowed to take a tefillah also in the reading of the Torah?
Probably not. I mean, you should be concentrating on the Kriyas Torah. That's.
But if you don't have time, you want to get to the shul. It doesn't have to be Kriyat Torah. It could be like afterwards.
No, I mean, Kriyas Torah. I don't know. I'm not
Best thing
really
is
know-
take out tefillah when you finish davening. That's the best.
Yeah, of course it's the best thing, but like people are in a rush. Right?
No, that's the best thing is
I
to
want to get
finish.
here on time, so.
Yeah, but at least, look, if so, between the Kadesh, you can take off the ends of the 2-3 Kadesh at the end of the
Yeah,
davening,
yeah.
you can take off your tefillin between and just save the rolling up for in between. But during the Kadesh, you should be silent and just answer what you have to answer. The Katkila. So Mishna Berura is not in favor of people doing other things during Kaddish. Right? So, so in terms of giving the Indians, yeah. I happen to daven in a kind of an isolated place in the shul. So sometimes what I do is I put the money out on the table so they get to see it, because otherwise they won't necessarily come over to me. It's an easy shekel, so you have to walk a little bit. So okay, but.
Okay. How much people give in the States when they walk around?
I don't even hear. More here.
Oh, yeah.
I don't get the number where we go. When I doubt there are, and the shuls have published. Most of the shuls in my town have put up a sign up. Please, say, well, you're welcome. Please do not disturb your working on. They wait in the hall. Either they come in when we're done davening, or people leave early. They catch people as they're leaving. Okay, but it got to be. It was such a balagan that they generally put the sign said, "Please do not disturb the solemn while we're davening." It's not right.
People want to come in the davening. Look, people want to collect. They want to collect. But again, they have to stay in the hall. Make the millionaires table. Let them sit. If it's a busy with many minyanim, so.
They come in. They sit in the back and they collect water there.
There's a place in Pesukei Zimra that you give like stakar.
Right.
Huh?
Right.
And
Many
and there are those that want to come to collect. They know exactly. They time it.
Yeah.
They time it.
Yeah.
The video when you get there, they're there,
Yeah, sure.
and you can give them
Some-
stakar there.
Yeah, there's a minute. I think it's worth Hashem they realize. Sometimes the gabbai goes around at that point in the shul. The gabbai, many shuls, the gabbai will go around at that time in the davening, and they'll.
That's
The
okay.
majority of these guys really need it, so you have to. No. You should know that there's a lot of rabbis that you're not allowed to give people collective. You should know that because we don't know who they are. It says I got it in the email that it's one rabbi went so far to say that it's usher to give. So they're coming around. You don't know, so you
Whether
have
or
to
not-
because
but whether or
they're
not-
gonna come.
What's
whether or
a
not they
quarter?
need
What's
it-
a
You get a lot of quarters, rabbi.
Whether or not they need it, what you're giving is fulfilling the mitzvah of tzedakah, your obligation to give tzedakah.
That's it.
Whether or
That's
not
it.
they need, so you, on you is there is certainly a mitzvah to give tzedakah, and I don't have a problem giving tzedakah. Okay, but again, it's they often come, and I lose my place.
Yeah. No. So again, so if
So
you
you have to
if
decide.
if you say, no, so you're not in theory obligated to if it's gonna you have your mitzvah. Also the mitzvah but the minimum. So you're also in Sukkot Zivrim. So that's the. Okay, so we have that. There's another halacha. Again, the concentration, therefore, that's necessary for davening. Shemona Esrei is definitely on a higher level than that of Kriya Shema. Yeah. Let's just. If you take a look, go back in Tzadik,
Tzaddik?
yeah, back a few,
Tzadik?
Tzadik,
Which sip?
right, Aleph, this follow on,
Three of them. Tzaddik, Makom.
yeah, Markham really is follow.
Makom, a place that is fit for davening, with Spal, you would see where to pray with the faith. I'm spalling lo yamud lo al gabe mita. You shouldn't stand on a bed. Lo al gabe kisei, not on a chair. Lo al gabe safsel, not on a stool. I feel in on govin gimel, even if they're not 3 fucking high. Lo al gabe makom gavoa, not on a high place. Ella im ken haya zaken o chola o shahaya kavanaso lahashmiya l'tzibur. Unless you are an old person or a sick person, or you can maintain your kavana.
Yeah. Or high shaya kavana, so you want to be up high so the tzibur can hear you.
Voice?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly when that would be.
Standing from a window to another window.
Yeah, could be something like that. Okay. Okay, just look at the this is basically the Gemara, the Mishna in Brachas. Look at Sif Kat Nalach in the Mishna Gemara.
Yeah, philo.
Everyone have it there, Philo?
Okay.
Tzaddik. Tzaddik.
Nishay mipnei.
So you don't know.
No.
No, tzaddik. Mipnei keshehu omed aleihem, when somebody is standing on them, who tored, he is distracted. Okay, good. The yira, and he's afraid Shema Yipol, he might fall. Lo yuchal the coven to feel, so he's not able to concentrate on his davening. If he's there because of this, ma sheitiru the sum of selfhain or why we matcha this according for a zaken or a chola? Ach the ein bo mishum gavasu is, however, it's not because of its height. You call makom ye oser la'amod machmas be'iusasa.
Yeah, that's I think the fear, meaning he's still gonna have the fear.
Okay. Tzamech lomer hatam. You have to explain the reason. The low he tiruhu hacham did not matcha this. The he tiruhu lehis palel aleihem bameh sheyashe lo. And they were allowed to pray from what they were sitting on. This is
Right.
okay. It wasn't a duck and a hole was not necessarily standing. They were sitting on something that may have been off the ground. Okay. Okay. The yeshiva whether they're sitting or they're standing. Oh, sheish lomer demiyira sham the gavne deleka biasusa.
Right. They're talking about in a place where there's not going to be something that's going to be fearful. I mean, it's not going to be distracting from them being up in the situation. Yeah, that's right. So if they're in a stable situation, so that'll be okay. But that's it's not going to come. So we see from this that the kavana that's necessary during the Shemona Esrei is specific enough that there are certain halachas which apply to Shemona Esrei which don't necessarily apply to Kriya Shema. We had the case not to hold things in the time of Kriya Shema, even Sukkot Zimra, where even though that you don't have to have the same amount of concentration as by davening, but still it'll be distracting enough. That could be a little bit worse because if you're holding something that's valuable, you don't want to drop it, and that would be distracting you with Kriya Shema Psuki Zimra. Okay, good. We're going to go again over this in Kuf Dalet again tomorrow, Mitzvah Shem, and hopefully we'll get a little bit more clarity exactly what the difference is. But today we see that there's a difference of opinion in the Ramah Gufa as to what's considered an oinus, whether it's an oinus in all cases, or it's just those cases that were mentioned by Kriya Shema and Salmet Day. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you.